Have you ever noticed how a first kiss with an older man feels completely different from the rushed, awkward kisses most people experience when they're younger? It's slower, more intentional, more emotional, and if you do it right, that single moment can create a level of attraction and connection he will remember for a very long time. The truth is, many people overthink the first kiss. They worry about technique, timing, confidence, or whether they'll do it right. But older men usually aren't looking for perfection. They notice warmth, confidence, softness, eye contact, emotional chemistry, and whether the kiss feels genuine instead of forced. And here's the surprising part: the most unforgettable first kisses are rarely the wildest ones. They're the ones that feel natural, calm, intimate, and emotionally charged. So if you're wondering how to kiss an older man for the first time in a way that feels romantic, classy, confident, and deeply memorable, this guide will walk you through everything you need to know. The first thing you need to understand is that older men often value emotional connection more than flashy behavior. A younger guy may focus on excitement or intensity, but mature men tend to notice subtle things. Your energy, your confidence, the way you look at him before the kiss even happens. That means the kiss actually starts long before your lips touch. It starts with the atmosphere between you. If you're laughing together, making eye contact, touching his arm naturally during conversation, and creating emotional tension, the kiss becomes almost effortless. Many women make the mistake of trying to suddenly switch into a romantic mode out of nowhere. But chemistry builds gradually. An older man usually appreciates softness and authenticity. So instead of trying to act overly seductive or dramatic, focus on being present. Slow down your energy. Let the moment breathe. Make him feel comfortable around you. One of the biggest mistakes people make before a first kiss is talking too much because they're nervous. Silence is powerful. A quiet moment where you look at each other can create more tension than nonstop conversation ever could. Sometimes, the perfect first kiss begins with a pause. You're sitting close together. Maybe the conversation slows down. Maybe he looks at you a little longer than usual. Maybe you notice his eyes moving toward your lips. Those small signals matter. And when you feel that tension building, don't rush. That's another thing older men tend to appreciate: patience. A slow approach feels far more intimate than sudden aggression. Instead of lunging forward nervously, move naturally. Hold eye contact for a second longer. Smile softly. Let your body language show comfort and attraction. If you're close enough, gentle touch becomes incredibly important. A hand on his chest, touching his shoulder, holding his hand, running your fingers lightly along his arm. These small gestures build anticipation and emotional warmth. The best first kisses feel mutual, not forced, not confusing, not one-sided. You should feel like both of you are leaning into the moment together. And when the kiss finally happens, slower is almost always better. A lot of people assume they need some advanced kissing technique to impress someone older, but most mature men are far more drawn to confidence, softness, and emotional connection than complicated moves. Start gently. Let your lips meet softly, instead of aggressively pressing forward. A relaxed kiss feels more sensual than a tense one. If you're nervous, take a breath beforehand. Tension in your body often transfers into the kiss itself. One soft kiss can actually be more powerful than an overly intense makeout session. Older men often notice emotional details during intimacy. They notice whether you're fully present or distracted, whether the moment feels sincere, whether you seem comfortable with yourself. That's why confidence matters so much. And confidence does not mean acting dominant or overly bold. Real confidence during a first kiss simply means you're relaxed enough to enjoy the moment instead of performing. You don't need to impress him. You need to connect with him. One thing that makes older men particularly attractive to many women is their calm masculine energy. They often move more slowly, communicate more clearly, and create emotional safety. When kissing a mature man, matching that energy can make the chemistry feel incredibly natural. Instead of trying to create fireworks immediately, think about creating tension and warmth. A soft kiss followed by eye contact can be unbelievably attractive. Pulling away slightly and smiling can make the moment feel real and emotionally intimate instead of rushed. Another important detail is pacing. Don't rush into tongue immediately. One of the biggest turn-offs during a first kiss is excessive intensity too fast. Let the chemistry build gradually. Older men usually appreciate sensuality over chaos. Think of the first kiss like music. The pauses matter as much as the contact. Gentle kisses, small moments of eye contact, smiling softly, touching his face lightly. These tiny details create emotional electricity. And if you want the kiss to feel unforgettable, pay attention to responsiveness. Kissing is a conversation without words. If he kisses slowly, don't suddenly speed up aggressively. If he's gentle, respond gently. If the chemistry naturally becomes more passionate, let it evolve instead of forcing it. The key is emotional synchronization. When two people move naturally together, the kiss feels effortless. Now, let's talk about nerves, because almost everyone feels nervous before a first kiss, especially with someone they genuinely like. Sometimes people panic internally and start overthinking every detail. Am I doing this right? Should I tilt my head? What if I mess up? But the irony is that overthinking is usually what ruins the moment. A meaningful kiss is not about technical perfection. It's about emotional presence. Older men especially tend to value authenticity. They've usually experienced enough relationships to know that chemistry matters more than performance. So, instead of focusing on being perfect, focus on enjoying him. Notice his scent, his voice, the warmth of the moment, the closeness between you. When you stay emotionally present, your body naturally responds more confidently. And here's something many people don't realize. A first kiss doesn't have to be long to be powerful. Sometimes a short, soft, emotionally charged kiss creates more desire than a 10-minute makeout session. Mystery matters. Leaving him wanting more can actually strengthen attraction. One incredibly attractive move is breaking the kiss gently, looking into his eyes, and smiling naturally instead of immediately looking away awkwardly. That tiny moment of confidence can drive him crazy. It shows emotional comfort, attraction, warmth, and mature men often find emotional ease extremely attractive. Now, let's talk about body language, because your body communicates constantly during intimacy. If your body feels stiff, nervous, or disconnected, the kiss can feel awkward. Even if the technique is technically fine, relax your shoulders, lean into the moment naturally, don't hold your breath, and don't underestimate the power of closeness. Sometimes placing your hand lightly behind his neck or against his chest creates incredible intimacy without needing anything overly dramatic. Softness is powerful, especially with emotionally mature men. Another thing worth understanding is that older men often appreciate femininity expressed through warmth and calmness rather than performance. That means you don't need to imitate movie scenes or social media fantasies. Real chemistry feels personal. Sometimes the most unforgettable kisses happen in ordinary moments. Sitting in a car after dinner, standing close during a quiet conversation, laughing together before silence suddenly takes over. Romance often appears in subtle moments, and older men usually notice emotional sincerity more than flashy behavior. That's why emotional connection before the kiss matters so much. If he feels respected, appreciated, desired, and emotionally connected to you, the kiss becomes much more meaningful. Compliments can also build emotional intimacy beforehand. Not exaggerated compliments, genuine ones. Telling him you feel comfortable around him, mentioning that you like his voice, saying you enjoy talking to him. These small emotional cues build attraction naturally. A mature man often responds strongly to emotional warmth because many people stop giving genuine affection as they get older. Now let's talk about one thing that instantly ruins first kiss chemistry: trying too hard. Overly dramatic behavior, forced seduction, or exaggerated techniques usually feel unnatural. The best kisses happen when both people feel relaxed enough to simply enjoy each other. Confidence is attractive, but calm confidence is even more attractive. There's also something deeply powerful about anticipation. Sometimes lightly brushing your lips against his before fully kissing him creates incredible tension. That small pause can make the moment feel electric. Slow energy creates emotional depth. Fast energy often creates nervousness. And older men frequently appreciate sensual pacing because it feels intentional and emotionally mature. Another underrated detail is your voice before the kiss. A softer tone, slower speech, and calm eye contact can dramatically increase romantic tension. Many people don't realize attraction is deeply psychological. The emotional atmosphere matters just as much as physical contact. That's why environments also influence first kisses. A loud, chaotic setting can make intimacy feel rushed or disconnected, but a quieter moment creates emotional focus. Even simple things matter: fresh breath, comfortable closeness, feeling relaxed in your own body. These details help you feel more confident, which naturally improves chemistry. And here's something important: you do not need to be overly experienced to create an amazing first kiss. Many older men actually prefer emotional sincerity over overly rehearsed behavior. What matters most is whether the moment feels genuine. Some women worry about age gaps and think they need to appear more mature or experienced when kissing an older man. But emotional confidence matters far more than pretending to be someone you're not. Authenticity creates trust, and trust creates intimacy. One powerful thing about kissing a mature man is that many older men understand the importance of slowing down emotionally. They often enjoy emotional buildup more than rushing immediately into physical intensity. So allow yourself to enjoy the anticipation, the eye contact, the tension, the closeness, the silence. Those moments are part of the kiss too. And if the chemistry is strong, the emotional impact afterward can be intense. That's why what happens after the kiss also matters. Don't instantly ruin the moment by becoming awkward or panicked. Stay close for a second. Smile, touch his hand, maintain the emotional connection. Sometimes saying something simple like "I've wanted to do that" can make the moment incredibly memorable. Older men often appreciate emotional openness when it feels natural and sincere. Now let's talk about common mistakes people make during a first kiss with an older man. The first mistake is rushing. People often move too fast because they're nervous. Slow down. Let the chemistry build naturally. The second mistake is overthinking technique. You don't need complicated moves. Gentle, responsive kissing almost always feels more intimate. The third mistake is forcing passion before emotional comfort exists. Strong chemistry grows from emotional connection. The fourth mistake is ignoring body language. If he's leaning closer, maintaining eye contact, or touching you gently, those are usually positive signs. But mutual comfort matters. And the fifth mistake is trying to imitate unrealistic romantic scenes from movies or social media. Real attraction is usually quieter, softer, and more emotionally layered. One thing many women notice after kissing An older man for the first time is how emotionally intense it can feel compared to kissing younger men. That's often because mature men tend to bring more emotional presence into intimate moments. The confidence, patience, and calmness can make even a simple kiss feel deeply romantic. And if you truly want to stand out, focus less on trying to be sexy and more on making the moment feel emotionally real. That's what people remember. Not perfection, not performance, connection. Another important detail is respecting your own comfort level. You never need to rush intimacy to impress someone. A good older man will appreciate emotional readiness and mutual comfort. Confidence also means being able to move at your own pace, and surprisingly, emotional restraint can sometimes increase attraction more than immediate intensity. Leaving a little mystery creates anticipation. A gentle first kiss followed by emotional closeness often builds stronger long-term chemistry than rushing into overwhelming passion. Now let's talk about emotional energy because this matters more than most people realize. People remember how you make them feel. If your energy feels warm, calm, playful, affectionate, and emotionally open, the kiss becomes far more memorable. But if your energy feels anxious, disconnected, or performative, even technically good kissing may feel emotionally empty. Older men often become especially attracted to emotional peace. A woman who feels comfortable, emotionally warm, and genuine can feel incredibly magnetic. So before the kiss even happens, focus on calming yourself internally. Stop worrying about whether you'll impress him. Focus on enjoying the connection. That emotional shift changes everything. One subtle trick that creates strong romantic tension is lowering your voice slightly during emotional moments. Softer tones naturally create intimacy. Another powerful detail is eye contact immediately before the kiss. That tiny pause where you both feel the anticipation can become one of the most unforgettable parts of the entire experience. Anticipation creates desire, and desire grows strongest in moments of emotional tension. Another thing mature men often appreciate is affection that feels intentional rather than automatic. A soft touch on his cheek, holding his face gently during the kiss, resting your hand against his chest. These actions create emotional intimacy beyond physical attraction. And if the kiss becomes more passionate naturally, let it happen gradually instead of forcing it. The best chemistry evolves organically. There's also something important to understand about maturity and attraction. Older men are often drawn toward emotional ease. Drama, pressure, or trying too hard can instantly kill romantic energy. But warmth, emotional confidence, humor, and softness can feel incredibly attractive. That's why playfulness can also make the first kiss better. A small laugh before the kiss, a teasing smile, light flirting. These things reduce nervous tension and make the moment feel real. Romance doesn't need perfection. It needs connection. And honestly, many unforgettable kisses happen when two people simply stop overthinking and allow themselves to feel the moment fully. That emotional surrender creates magic. Now imagine this. You're sitting close together after a great evening. The conversation slows down naturally. He looks at you differently. You feel the tension building quietly between you. Instead of panicking, you relax. You hold eye contact. You smile softly. You move closer slowly. Your hand touches his chest gently. And when your lips finally meet, the kiss feels warm, calm, slow, and emotionally electric. No rushing. No performance. Just chemistry. That's the kind of kiss people remember for years. And here's the truth nobody talks about enough. The most attractive thing during a first kiss is emotional authenticity. Not acting, not pretending, not trying to become someone else. Being fully present is what creates intimacy. Older men especially tend to value emotional honesty because they've usually experienced enough in life to recognize when something feels real. So trust yourself more. You don't need perfect technique. You don't need scripted moves. You don't need to become a movie character. You simply need warmth, confidence, patience, and emotional presence. Because when a first kiss feels emotionally genuine, it becomes far more than physical attraction. It becomes a memory. And sometimes, one unforgettable kiss is enough to change the entire direction of a relationship. So when that moment finally comes, stop trying to be perfect. Slow down, breathe, look into his eyes, feel the chemistry, and let the kiss happen naturally. Because the most powerful first kiss with an older man is never the one that feels rehearsed. It's the one that feels real. And that's exactly what makes it unforgettable.